Shalom, shalom. Shalom, shalom. I want to give all praise to my Heavenly Father. In the name of Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shah, by Hashem Kakadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders that rule well, and peace and many salutations to y'all on this toil and this truth. Uh, wanted to do a
All right, so listen up.
wanted to do a quick sit down. This showing the hypocrisy of the whole apologist movement. You know, guys like Vocab Malone, guys like Alton Johnson, guys like K-Dub, that depict us as, a black cultist group, in their very denomination, there has been a rise in white Edomite Christian nationalism. Okay, which, Edomite Christian nationalism has always been present. A so-called white Christian nationalism has always been present since the inception of, the Protestant movement, right? Historically speaking, they have been on the opposite side of advancements for us, okay, and also justified putting us into hardcore slavery, systemic slavery, okay? But I wanted to show this, because you get caught up, you're watching these guys, you get caught up speaking like these guys. It's dry and clear that, these people like Alton Johnson, and that congregation, they're hypocrites because their very organization was built off of hate, man. And that hate was perpetuated by Esau Edom. He has perpetual hatred against us. Okay. And these various people were Christians. Okay. Get you some scriptures, don't want to talk too much like these Christian guys do. You listen to these guys, all they do is just talk, and not one precept comes out. They got all these fancy, schmancy words, that they use, but they never use these scriptures to convey their beliefs. But anywho, this is Ezekiel 35 and 4. Actually, I will start at 3. And say unto it, thus said Yahweh, power. I started 1. Ezekiel 35 and 1. Moreover, the word of Yahweh came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Mount Seir, which Mount Seir is in Edom, right? And a mount we know is symbolic for power, and prophesy against it, and say unto it, thus said Yahweh, power. Behold, O Mount Seir, I am against thee, and I will stretch out my hand against thee, and I will make thee most desolate. I will lay thy cities waste, and thou shalt be desolate, and thou shalt know that I am Yahweh, because thou hast had, this is the point, a perpetual hatred, right? And Esau Edom has had a perpetual hatred towards us, okay? And now we'll be seeing the fact that we've been rising on our feet. You have these people coming against us, guys like Vocab Malone, guys like Alton Johnson, guys like K-Dub, right? In their very congregation or denomination, I should say, there's an uptick in, them showing their hatred towards towards Israelites, the true Israelites, right? And you have people that subscribe to white Christian nationalism, or like the apostles say, plantation Christianity. Subscribe to plantation Christianity, right? That's willing to come up against us, right? The hypocrisy is, is amazing. Okay, it's amazing. But the point I wanted to show, is yes, there's a judgment for this, man, for the perpetual hatred that Esau Edom, has given us as a group of people, the so-called Negro, Latino, Native Americans, and even in the spiritual realm or world, you see that hatred boiling over. All right. So this guy, Alton Johnson, did a Christian, he called out Christian nationalism and racism in the church. And he's been getting death threats and things of that nature because of it. Now, you don't see us, threatening you, saying, calling you the N-word. You don't see us doing that to you, bro. Right? We don't see that doing that to it. But you, in your videos, have been saying that, we're dangerous and we're a threat. And you're willing to demonize us. But in your very congregation, guess what? It's happening. It's happening. It's happening to you. So you're receiving your recompense, brother, for trying to defame us. And it's good that it's happening to your in your own congregation or denomination, I should say. It's happening, to you by your own fellow, so-called fellow Christian brothers. And rightfully so, you deserve it. Right? You digging a ditch for us, and guess what? You're falling in that ditch now. Right? He that diggeth the pit. Get these scriptures for you guys, man. Ecclesiastes 10. Let's see here. Guess if I can get straight to it. Ecclesiastes 10 and 8. He that diggeth a pit shall fall into it, and whosoever breaketh a hedge, a serpent shall bite him. That's right. So all the things that you were doing to us, trying to defame us, right? Saying all these inflammatory things against us, right? When you try to call out people in your church, guess what? You receive backlash, you receive hate. And hey, man, hey, brother, yeah, that's what you get. That's what you get for trying to defame us, for telling you that, hey, you're not going to be, for telling you for telling you the good news that, hey, man, you're not going to have to endure this in the kingdom of heaven, right? You're going to have to win over your enemy. No, the elect of the most high, which, consists of the so-called Negro, Latino, Native Americans, right? Foreign Israelites, people that may look like different nationality because it's not a black thing. Those are going to be saved, and the people that have been putting your people under hardcore oppression, even spiritual oppression, right? That's what's going on now, and been going on since the inception of the church in the U.S. You ain't going to have to do that. Most High is going to recompense them. But you don't want to hear that. You prefer to hear a lie. You want to be equal to somebody who's lower than you. Okay? So the Most High send that judgment on you, man. All right? Now, before I get ahead of myself, I wanted to bring out a couple of theological definitions that these guys like to use. They use a lot of these terms, but you really don't know what they believe in as far as the scriptures per se. They have a lot of terms like they throw out there, like post-millennialism, premillennialism, dang on amillennialism, demonology, and it's like, wait, what are you talking about, bro? None of this really is of the scriptures, right? And it can be very convoluted. And a lot of times what we're seeing is Esau Edom is using his tongue likened unto a sword to make up these various words to live out his own reality. Okay. And these various interpretations and things of that nature has nothing to do with the scriptures. There's a proper way to interpretate these scriptures, but it's not exemplified in these churches, especially in the reformed realm. In the reformed realm, you know, you could be in the same church with somebody and you could believe like Revelations, the 20th chapter, means something different, right? And there's no private interpretations in these scriptures. Let me get that for you guys, man. You know, let me get this for you guys. And please write down these scriptures for yourself, you know, so you could go over it for yourself, so you can know this for yourself. Because this is what it's all about. It's all about being able to decipher this word for yourself. Okay. Not using these big old words like these Christians like to use. Okay. That has nothing to do with salvation. Okay. 2 Peter 1:19. We have also a more sure word of prophecy, whereunto ye do well that ye take heed, as unto a light that shineth in a dark place unto the dawn day, and the day star arise in your hearts. And that day star is Yahweh Shai, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus. Okay, we have a sure word of prophecy, you know, and it's important that you're taking heed, right? It's important that you understand what time that you're living in, and the true prophets will have the correct breakdown of the scriptures. Okay, not using these fancy words and these theological terms to justify your feelings. Okay, 2 Peter 1:20. Knowing this first, that no prophecy of the scripture is of any private interpretation. Okay, so moving on to the point. Now, when you listen to these guys, these various Christians, a lot of them say that they're post-millennialists. Now, the post-millennialist movement, right, really birthed the Christian nationalist movement. Okay. All right. Now, I'm gonna read this for you guys. I use Copilot. I use Copilot to get the definition just to see what it was saying. It says a post-millennial typically refers to individuals born after the millennials. Oh, let me jump down. In a theological context, postmillennialism is a Christian eschatological means end time prophecy, man. Goodness gracious. Views that believes Mashiach's second Christ verbatim, second coming will occur after a millennium. A golden age of Christian righteousness and prosperity. This belief holds that through the church efforts, the world will gradually become more Christian, leading unto the Christ's return. So they believe before Yahweh Shai, well, Christ returns, right? Jesus returns. There's going to be a millennial of prosperity and evangelizing the whole world. Okay. Right, the spread of Christian and a Christian nation, you know, will be seen. And really, this ideology was tied with what? Well, white supremacy, man. Right? They used the whole concept of post-millennialism, you know, and the spreading of and the vandalizing as a excuse to slaughter people, because you have to remember the Calvinists believe that they are the spiritual Israelites under supersessionism. Okay, so they use these various concepts, right, to justify spreading really Western culture, spreading their way, which is a part of the image of the beast. Okay, in Revelation. Okay, the image of the beast is basically the Western culture being spread throughout the world. That golden cup that has made everybody drunken. This is that golden cup. This is a part of the golden cup. A huge part of um, white supremacy is religion, is Christianity. Okay, and these white boys are getting tired of accommodating everybody, knowing their own history, knowing that, hey, we started this, you know. And as of recently, in the last 40 years, the church has embraced, you know, so-called Negroes, man. 40, 50 years, All right. So Esau, he uses all these words to promote his wickedness, man. He's very, very, very cunning in his wickedness. You can get caught up in these big, great swelling words. Okay. Isaiah 32:6, for the vile person will speak violently, and his heart will work iniquity, to practice hypocrisy and to utter error against Yahweh. That's right. So the vile person, right, he'll will speak violently. A wicked person is going to speak wickedly, and his heart, you look at that word heart in the Hebrew, it goes back to law, when his mind will work iniquity, wickedness, and practice hypocrisy. And this is what we see going on. There's a huge, there's a huge example of hypocrisy being seen or being played out, I should say, with who? With Vocab Malone. Now, you think a guy like Vocab Malone hasn't heard about white Christian nationalism, or maybe not necessarily the term per se, but he hasn't ran into or talked to racist Edomite Christians, and he's an expert in bigly black Christian Hebrew Israelites. Come on, let's not be naive. But he comes here and he puts some, and also not necessarily just hearing about it, but hearing that these guys are ready to lock and load, hearing racist epithets being thrown out here and there. You think he's never heard that before? You don't think that he's talking to certain congressmen to push certain legislation out there to demonize us, right? You think that's far-fetched, right? Now in his very congregation, you got guys out there, man, that's calling their believers that are so-called black, which they're Israelites, they're calling them the N-word. They're calling them, they're telling them to shit the hell. They're calling them they're calling them subhuman, right? Then you have more of the extreme, but then you have people who, aren't supposed to be so extreme, guys like Joe Webbing, that's condoning these type of actions, man. Why is that? Because they're ready to move on black people in general and Israelites in general, no matter if you believe that you are a Hebrew Israelite or not. Okay, so there's a lot of hypocrisy going on, bro. You guys are funny. Don't sit here and act like you. Don't sit here and act like you guys aren't getting ready to roll. Guys like Vocab Malone. Come on, man. But he does all these interviews and use all these great swelling words, right? And these Reformed Christians use all these beautiful words to cover up their wickedness, right? And to destroy us, regardless of the fact that the nations or a particular person calling himself a Hebrew Israelite or not. They're tired of Israelites in general. Okay? He says in Revelation 12 and 12, he knows that he has but a short time. Right? So what is he going to do? He's going to get busy. Okay? But back to it. It says Isaiah 32 and 6, for the vile person will speak violently, and his heart will work iniquity, to practice hypocrisy, and to utter error against Yahweh, to make empty the soul of the hungry, and he will cause the drink of the thirsty to fail. Right? So this man does all these things to do what? To further put us, the Israelites, under subjection. This is what it's about. It's about keeping his hegemon, the so-called white racists, and they're using Christianity as a leverage. Okay, right? They use all these beautiful words, right, to drunken the people. Well, I'm a post-millennial and I'm a pre-millennial, and Christian nationalists and the elements of the Christian nationalism, all these things to say, nigga, shut the hell up. I'm supposed to be ruling. In a nutshell. Let me go back and finish this. It says, in the theological context, postmillennialism is a Christian eschatological view that believes Christians that Christ's second coming will occur after a millennium. And again, that word eschatological, it means end times. Okay, they just like to use these big words. A golden age of Christian righteousness and prosperity. This belief holds that through the church's efforts, the world will gradually become more Christian, leading unto the Christ up to Christ's returns. This is going off. In the latter days, it's going to be bad out here, right? They believe that through them of vandalizing and going around the world and raping and robbing and assimilating the people, that they was doing God's work. They were cleaning up the niggers. Okay, but in fact, in all actuality, they did a lot of wickedness, man. And also, prophetically speaking, faith is not going to be just flourishing on the earth like that, man. Right? It's going to be a small elect of people that's going to be saved. So I don't know where they get that from. So I asked Copilot, says, in post-millennialism, what Bible verse do Christians use to justify this stance? It's in Revelation, the 20th chapter, and it said, yes, you're on the right track. Post-millennialism is largely based on the interpretation of Revelation 21 through 6. This passage describes a period known as the millennium, during which Christ reigns on earth. Post-millennialists believe this reign will be a golden age of Christian ethics, prosperity, and spiritual well-being. According before Christ's second coming, they interpret this passage to mean that the spread of the gospel will eventually lead to a period of widespread righteousness and peace, culminating into Christ's return. So this is not according to the scriptures. Okay, we could disprove that by going to Matthew the 24th chapter. All right, before the Yahushua returns, going to be all hell breaking loose. Okay, like I gotta get it. I gotta get it real quick. Just to prove, prove the stance of the scriptures. It ain't about me and me trying to sound deep. It's about these scriptures. You know, these Christians, man. You listen to these guys. I'm talking about hour, 2, 3 hours, man, just talking. They're pre-millennial and the post-millennial and the grandpa. Like, shut the hell up, man. You just pompously talking and none of that has to do with the scriptures. But let's go to this. Matthew 24:3. And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, Tell us when shall these things be, and what shall be the sign of thy coming and the end of the world? And Yahushua answered and said unto them, Take heed that no man deceives you, for many shall come in my name, saying, I am Mashiach, and shall deceive many. This is going on with Christianity, erecting, the image of Cesare Borgia, right? Depicting him as an Edomite when he's a so-called Negro, a Judite, okay? Lying on the Lord. And also, contemporarily speaking, you have people that's likening themselves unto Christ, okay? Heck, you got an actual AI Christ that's, taking people's confessions in Switzerland, okay? So a lot of things, are happening to deceive the people, okay? It has been happening to deceive the people. It says, and ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not bothered, not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. We've been hearing wars, rumors of wars of Israel against Iran, that's a big war. There's been proxy wars going on with Israel and the actual resistance. Okay. There's been a war in the Baltic area between Russia and Ukraine, which America is funding that, right? And more and more deadly artillery is starting to be used, okay? Right? These various, we got various skirmishes and uprisings going on in Africa, okay? That's funded by Russia. There's a lot of coups that's damaged, that damaged, like escape point in Niger. I believe I'm saying that right. Right? That damaged the French economy because economic colonialism was still going on over there. All right, which is another strategic, a strategic hit from Russia on NATO members. All right, what's going on with verse 7? For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilence and earthquakes in diverse places. All these are the beginning of sorrows. So it's the beginning of it getting very bad out here. Meanwhile, you got this Christian, well, I'm a post-millennialist, and I think with Christianity, we just got to go hard and we can just clean up this place. No. It's getting bad out here, and it's going to get worse out here. Okay? Using all these words and things of that nature is not going to save it. And Jake, you better rise up, man. You using these words too, right? That's not going to save you in that day, bro. Understanding the will of Yahweh Shem Yahshua is going to save you. Okay? Right? And his will is to do what? To save the Israelites. Ultimately, set up the throne of David, right? With the return of Yahushua. And yes, he's going to rescue those people that's in straits, okay, around the world. And those people are the elect of the nation of Israel, okay? Not everyone. Let's get this. 1 Corinthians 2:1. And I, brethren, when I came to you, came not with excellency of speech or of wisdom, declaring unto you the testimony of the Most High. For I determined not to know anything among you save Yahushua Mashiach and him crucified. So when we do these lessons, we're not, we could go and use all these fancy words and things of that nature. But no, we're giving you the simplicity of Yahushua, man. Right? We're giving you, direct understanding instead of all these convoluted and crazy words and concepts that leads to confusion and not are used to rationalize wickedness. Okay? So let me let you play. I'm gonna let y'all hear a couple of this. Hear this right here. And let y'all hear this right here. And that'll be it for me, man. I ain't gonna make this long. I don't have to make it long. When you tell the truth, you ain't gotta go long, man. 3 hours not even bringing out. You got guys like Rick Carwell, bro, speak for 3 hours. 3 hours, dog. Not one scripture. He said something like, and I think that's old, Papa. I'm like, what the hell are you talking? Come on, bro. Jake, they got the easy for easy, but let me let you play this, man.
Because I want to know, and maybe Big Yehuda, all right, maybe Big Yehuda can answer this for me.
This is Amazon's new money-making app. Let me show you how it works.
Sorry about that. I'm gonna let this play again. I'm gonna let this play through. Check this out. Now, again, going back to what we bringing out, you got the post-millennial movement, which birthed Christian nationalism, and you got an uptick in Edomite Christians, saying that they should not only rule the church but rule America, right? And this guy is speaking out against, and he's being a lot of backlash on Alex Johnson. I would say this: at least this man, stood up for himself. So good for you, bro.
Options for political theology, our view of the world, our view of politics, and the way that theology applies to the political civil sphere. You have 3 predominant categories: tribalism.
I'm not gonna bore you with that bullshit.
He said, like, for instance, the man said that he doesn't feel, what do you say? He would rather not see people. We're kind of at the 33-minute mark. Because I want to know, and maybe Big Yehuda, all right, maybe Big Yehuda can answer this for me. Because he said that I'm ambushing Joel Webbin. He said maybe you should talk with Webbin directly in a friendly manner that isn't an ambush. And listen, my apologies. You're not saying that I'm ambushing him right now, but you're saying that you don't want me to ambush him. So apologies for that. No, anybody who knows me, whenever I have people on my show, I don't ever try to ambush people. I'm going to ask some questions, and I just want clarity. Now, I think that Brother Corey Minor did a really good job in asking him some questions, and that interview that he did, and we played some clips of that, and we showed some of the things that he said. Like, for instance, the man said that he doesn't feel, what do you say? He would rather not see people dressed up in Indian garb or something walking in his neighborhood. He doesn't like to see that. He said that Stonewall Jackson would be in heaven before Martin Luther King. So it's all types of things. There's all types of things that he's.
I'm just letting this play out. Just keep this in mind. What's going on? What you see before you, brothers. All this is going on in Vocab Malone's denomination, bro. Right? You know how you got Baptists, you got Pentecostals, you got Lutheran, whatever you say it. This is going on in Vocab Malone's Denomnation, the Calvinists, the Reformed Calvinists, bro. Okay? What this man is talking about.
Set. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I was going to leave this chat. It's impossible for me to discuss complicated matters. Yeah, but Big Yehuda, I would say, man, I don't know. I would just say, and I'm not willing to do this live or try to put you on blast or anything, but I really think that you really have to check some of the things that you said on Twitter. You know, using stuff like the N-word. I'm a black guy and I don't even use that type of language. So when people talk about Christian nationalism, and then we have people who are using the N-word, not just you, but others who call themselves Christian nationalists, they call themselves reformed and all of this stuff, but they're using the N-word, then it's like, well, what are we supposed to do with that? How do we deal with that? You see what I'm saying? So this is why I have to do live streams like this, because see, it's okay with certain people when I talk about the Black Hebrew Israelites, and I say this is a dangerous ideology, and people they put their palms up and it's high, and oh yeah, I'm with you, brother. I'm with you, brother. But then when we start talking about this stuff that's equally problematic, now all of a sudden, you got to be careful. You got to be careful. Let's do this. Let's go ahead and do this, because see, I don't just do stuff for no reason. I don't do stuff. I don't talk just to talk. Let me see if I can blow this up. Now I remember when people were talking about James White, calling them racist and all of this stuff back in 2016. And everybody know, back in 2016, after the Trump election, everybody knew that Trump was a racist. I mean, everybody knew that Trump was a racist. Everybody knew that, not just Trump, but they knew that James White was a racist. They knew John MacArthur was a racist. They knew Vody Bakum was a Sambo coon, Uncle Tom sellout. They knew that I was a coon, Uncle Tom sellout, all of that stuff. But they couldn't find tweets like this. It had to take racist James White to find a person like this guy named Corey J. Mahler. Now let's go back to Corey J. Mahler's main, let me see. Let's do this. Let's go to his bio. Now, this is a man who is a confessional Lutheran, Christian nationalist, patriarchist, categorically unapologetic, and then he got something right here in German. Right? So this is who we're dealing with. Okay, now remember, he's a Christian nationalist. This is what he has to say about Black people. This is what he has to say about Black people. And I want to see if this is Christian nationalism. So everybody who says that, okay, Christian nationalism, there's really nothing wrong with it, you guys just misinterpreting it. But here's a guy who claims to be a Christian nationalist. And I got some more, I got some more people lined up, so don't worry. So I don't want people just going, well, that's just one guy. No, we got some more people. All I did was type in the word black. I did a word search black on his Twitter feed. And this is what came up. A man who cannot tell you the truth, even when it is staring him in the face, is a man who cannot be trusted on anything. Half Black children are hideous compared to what their white parents would have had if they had not been miscegenated. This is a Christian nationalist. So he's basically saying that half white children are hideous. Now you see the importance of doing stuff like this and talking about this? This is why we have to make sure that we're defining terms correctly. Because these are people that's sitting amongst us within the church. Who in here is a Lutheran?
Your competitors will wish they had known about Vibe. With Vibe, you can launch targeted TV and streaming ad campaigns.
KL, I think you, and may your name be blotted out. Miscegenated. This is a Christian nationalist. So he's basically saying that half white children are hideous. Now you see the importance of doing stuff like this and talking about this? This is why we have to make sure that we're defining terms correctly. because these are people that's sitting amongst us within the church. Who in here is a Lutheran? KL? I think KL is a Lutheran. This man said that he's a confessional Lutheran. Is this the way Lutherans are supposed to conduct themselves? Oh, I'm sorry. He's Anglican. My bad. My bad. Not KL. False alarm. But he's also a Christian nationalist. And this man says that black children are hideous. Let's read another one. That blacks cannot be brought up to white standards is manifestly obvious. But the worst possibility by far is that whites can indeed be brought down to black standards.
And he goes on and on and on with this. You know, he goes on and on and on in this. All in the banner of post-millennialism. All these fancy words that this man makes up. That Esau Edom makes up. Okay? You know? So more to come. You know, and you know, I don't feel sorry for you. Alton. There's more to come. It's going to get worse out here. You hard to be Israelite real soon. Whether you believe you're Israelite or not. Right? Jacob's trouble's on the way. Right? So hey. Know who your enemy is, and don't let this world take away your confidence in Yahweh by Shalom.